who's listening to it while we're talking, kind of tone it down just a tad bit so that we don't have the echo, be fantastic. So sorry about to interrupting you, Julie. Just make sure people understand that I can hear it and it's kind of like echoes back. And then people will hear it after this show is done. You guys will download it and you guys will hear it and you guys will understand what I'm talking about. So right now, tone down the volume a little bit, okay? Anyway, sorry again. I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure you want them to tone down. You don't want me to tone down the volume.
No,
on my
not
phone.
you. Not you. It's just that.
Okay.
Yeah, when they're listening.
When people are listening on their computer and they have, is that what you mean?
Yeah, it kind of echoes. Yeah. It kind of kind of like a 2-second relay, and so I can hear it, and people can hear it also. So it's kind of a distracting where they can't understand. They're not able to hear you, but they hear the echo. And I will make sure they actually hear you and not hearing the background of it. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
So just to cut to the chase with that question, why or how I got involved in summer camps. Is I have always loved kids, and I'm a healer. I'm a caregiver. Ever since I was a baby, I've always been a caregiver, and there is just it's indescribable the feeling that you have being there, sharing moments, helping, making things. It really is making things possible for children and teens who don't think that could ever happen, and that they just want to be just like everybody else, and to be able to provide that and offer that to people and give them that experience, it changes everybody's life.
And
so
when you tell,
beautiful
sorry,
thing.
Sorry, I know after you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was
going to ask you, what do you tell parents who are worried about their children in these camps like this?
So that's a really good question. I think that one of the main things that you need to do is you need to, you can reassure, but you need to gain their trust. And when you gain their trust, they have to know that somebody far away is going to take care of their child as well as they would. And that they feel, because often, and you probably already talked about this, but people with EB, if they don't know anyone else, their care is so, complex, and it's very involved, and, the parents aren't going to think that they can have that care somewhere else, the special food and, every single thing about it. And so they're worried. And so what you need to do is, I would spend a great deal of time talking to parents about what it was going to be like and guaranteeing them that their child was going to be taken care of, as well as with the instructions that the parents sent. And, you have their phone numbers. You can always call them if you have a question. But I would say that what you would tell people is how valuable the camp is, and also reassure them that their child will receive the care they need.
Good.
And that there's qualified medical staff, etc.
Cool.
And then what happens is the parents are worried why their kids wanted to come, didn't want to come home because they still wanted to be at camp. And of course, that's always the most wonderful thing. After a session of camp, I have had so many parents call and they were so grateful that their child had to have that experience, that they met other friends. They come home a different child. Anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
And how did you meet Jamie?
I met Jamie, I'm going to say I had heard of Jamie from a very dear friend of mine, Kelly Drury, and who had EB, and her and I were very, very close. And when Kelly died, Jamie came and sang at her funeral. So Jamie knew me. We had never met, but we knew each other, and that was just the moment that our soul connection, our sister connection, happened at that very moment. And from then on out, we have always been the dearest, closest, most loving of friends.
That's fantastic. It's quite cool. So what's your favorite song that she ever played?
Oh, you know what? I got to tell you, that is such a hard question. I wrote all of them. And, then I said, don't make me pick one. And, no, really, and every single one draws up so much deep emotion inside, and it is they're so beautiful, and her voice is like listening to an angel. And so I kind of wrote down a few, but it was only because every time I listened, then I'd say, oh, I want to add that one, I want to add that one. And my daughter is here right now visiting, and I was playing the music, and she said, Mom, she is so amazing. She could have been an opera singer. I mean, she could sing anything. You almost float on her words, on her voice, on the song. You're almost floating. And it's just...
That's amazing that your daughter said that just now, because I introduced her to Natalie Dessay, who is, in a lot of people's eyes, the greatest soprano of our time. And it was Jamie's favorite soprano, and I was able to introduce the two of them backstage at the Metropolitan Opera House, and we gave her one of Jamie's CDs. A few days later, Natalie Dessay was walking through the halls, and she saw me, and she just grabbed my arm, and she looked me right in the eyes and said, "Your friend is incredible." And
oh, really? So beautiful.
She was like, I can't believe she sings like that. Is she going to do more music? And for the greatest soprano in the world to say that, I felt like my heart just burst out of my chest at that moment.
Right. Well, it really, truly is true. I think that, when that, I knew you were going to ask me a question like that, and I thought about, it depends. My favorite song of Jamie's, it is all of them. It's absolutely all of them. But then, there are some that in certain situations, the situation, the memory is her singing that song. So anytime I listen to her music and I hear that particular song, I am brought back to that experience that we shared together. And, when Jamie was at camp, if she, and she would, a super treat that the kids begged for was for her to come into their dorms and sing to them. And, their mouths would just drop. I mean, it's just, you'd sit there and you really truly feel like you're in the presence of an angel.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, so I was playing some of them for my daughter today, and she was just sitting looking at me like, I can't believe she can sing like that. That is just so beautiful. So the ones that I wrote down were, I had never heard it before today. Marble Halls. Man, she sings that beautifully. Lullaby is gorgeous, and I did like the live duet. That was so beautiful. Butterfly Free makes me cry. It's so tender and loving. And One World gives me the chills. Every one of her songs fills me with so much emotion. And One World is with April, right? April? It's with you, correct? Is she not on? Maybe she's not on anymore.
It is a duet with April.
Yeah, it is. I know.
It was beautiful in concert.
Oh, my gosh. That is just... That song, okay, gives me the chills. Yeah. Like I hear them singing, their voices are so pure and so, they almost permeate into you. It gives you the chills. The words are so beautiful and it's relevant so much to today. That's what we need, one world. That's what we need to strive for, is having one world. One world. And it was, just incredibly a beautiful song. Do You Believe, of course, or it's not Do You Believe. What is it? We Believe. Yeah, We Believe. Yeah, We Believe. Sorry, I had something else written by there.
Oh, no, that's, yeah.
Yeah. Again, another one I love, and of course, Nella Fantasia. So, but I don't know that I have her CDs, honestly, all of it. And I would say that many songs move me in a slightly different way. I mean, the last, when I was listening with my daughter, I was just in tears. And it's tears because I miss her so much, and that, what a terrible loss. But it's also the tears of utter joy hearing her voice. And hearing her voice and feeling her so inside me. It's very powerful in a beautiful way.
One thing I wanted to quickly mention, since Julie was mentioning just like Butterfly Free, what's interesting about that song, and I think when she was recording that, we actually had to cancel a couple sessions because her voice, she was having blisters break in her mouth. It was incredibly painful. And when we were doing that song, that was one of the songs where she has to hit those really high notes, and she couldn't do it. Like, she had been trying and trying. We were in the studio, and she started to break down in tears. She was like, I just can't do this. I can't. My voice isn't working today. And it was very discouraging at most. She always had a good attitude about it, but at times she would get discouraged. But I remember we're just like, no, Jamie, I know you can do it. So she tried it like just a few more times, and she nailed it. And she nailed those high notes, and the engineer and I just look at each other like, oh my God.
You did it.
Like, we couldn't do that on a good day without it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so just, there were a lot of really neat miracles, and what Julie said was just so, I thought, so beautiful and tender in describing the feeling, and what a personal, that was just beautiful, Julie.
Thank you. It's almost as if when you listen to her music that she's there giving you a hug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's that
great. That is a great way.
Deep and powerful. Yes. Yes. So.
Okay. Well, Julie, I'm asking everyone if you guys want to remain on the air. You may do, or on the phone. You may do so. We're going to bring in another guest coming in.
Can I was hoping I could just mention just a couple things.
Sure.
Can I
have
5 minutes?
Sure.
Okay. I also was wanting. I was thinking about memories and the ones that really. There's so many. But on her wedding day, when she came to my, hotel room and knocked on the door, and she said, because she was going to the temple, I didn't think that I was going to be able to go with her. That was my understanding. And she said, I need you to come with me. And she, came there. I said, of course. And then she goes, I need you to come now. And I was wearing purple silk pajamas. And so I went with her, to the big temple, and in all awe, and that was just so meaningful and precious. Her look at, and then her relief that I was coming. And anyway, that part. And then the part where